Welcome to the reading of Turning 25 on my 52nd birthday. This is a story of my life right after my divorce as I grew into a new woman. Please comment any questions on the video below. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. And thank you so much. Please like and subscribe also. Thanks. Chapter 16. Time was passing very quickly. Part of her could not wait to be with Rick again, and part of her did not want to ever see him again. Rick and her had already made plans to meet this coming Sunday. She was going over to his house. She got in the car and headed for his house. She always had an anticipation about seeing him. She was excited and nervous. When she got there, he had already been drinking. He was feeling pretty good. This seemed a little odd since she had got to the house at 10 a.m. That was fine though. I mean, he fixed her a drink and they talked a little bit. She ended up having 3 drinks before they started grabbing at each other, which meant she was feeling pretty good also. They went to the bedroom and immediately took off their clothes and started. He may not have been great at foreplay, but he was still so much fun. His kisses were even fun. It almost was like a game of chess. Okay, more like wrestling, but it was good fun. She couldn't help but smile when they were together. How did this man's charm get to her? It wasn't like he was that overly handsome man or this fantastic lover, but at the same time, he was definitely not ugly or bad in bed. He just had this charm about him. Veronica felt like she couldn't say no to him. There was just something about him that made her decide to do whatever he said. It was almost like she was hypnotized. The sex was hard and fast, seemed harder than usual. It was almost like he was releasing anger on her. It was not painful by any means, but it was aggressive and it was rough. It was like he was on a mission. This time, it was like he was on a mission this time. And this time around, she almost felt like he was repulsed with her. Like he was trying so hard to get it done. It was a strange feeling. She almost felt like he wanted to hurt her. She didn't believe that to be the case, but it felt like that. He decided that he wanted to take her in the rear, and she, of course, let him. She wouldn't dare say no to him. He was not careful at all. He didn't care at all how she felt. She didn't say anything either, but it still felt like he didn't give a damn. Not emotions, but just her as a person and sexually. At this point, it was becoming very obvious that it was all about him. It didn't matter how the woman felt as long as he was happy and doing what he wanted, and that was all that really mattered. That was truly the way she felt this day. The sex was good until he went into her behind. He was there too long and he was way too aggressive. When he was finally done, she was bleeding and very sore. The sex may have ended horribly for her, but it didn't seem for him, and of course, she let her feelings go. After all, if she said something, would he want to be with her again? Was it worth that much to her? She would sacrifice that much to be with him? What happened to the strong, intelligent, beautiful woman? She was allowing herself to go down the same path as she had in her marriage. How could she not think better of herself? Right now, the only thing that really mattered to her was to be able to have sex with him again. She stayed at his place for a few hours. She needed to sober up a bit before getting into the car and driving. They watched TV and talked. He took a nap for about an hour, and she just basically played on her phone. She watched him sleep for a bit. It had been a while since she had actually fell asleep. It had been a while since she had watched someone actually fall asleep. It was kind of nice. It felt comfortable. It was the friend part of the relationship peeking through. She really enjoyed him as a friend. Sometimes she would wonder if the sex was actually getting in the way of that. She would wonder, but she would not do anything about it because she was addicted to sex with him. Why? Him. Probably because she really didn't like slutting around and definitely wanted to have sex with the same man multiple times. She liked being with the same man. This way she could start becoming more comfortable with him. If she just picks up some guy in the bar, it's going to be one night stand, and it must be nice to be a man. They can come no matter what it seems. They have a warm, wet hole, and they are good. She needed to learn how to relax. When she was with men, she needed to just allow herself to be her. Now that was chapter 16. I'm not reading 17 because 17's longer, but basically, it wasn't that bad. I mean, she did feel like it was really aggressive or assertive sex that time. But I think what relaxed her with that whole day was the time they had spent after. So if they hadn't spent that time after, things may have been completely different after that day, because she did feel like kind of like, what the heck's going on? But you know, we all have different moods and have different things going on in our minds, so it could have been anything for him. And they didn't talk, and which is too bad, because when they did talk about other things, they talked really well. So, you know, it is just too bad that they never really conversed about their relationship. He left it, when he would say anything, it was she was his toy, or, you know, she was fun in bed, and they didn't talk anymore about it. But I think it was hard for Veronica because they had this sex part that was really fun and good, and as we see as time goes on, they also had this friendship that was really good. So why can't there be some kind of, you know, in between? You know, she understood that he probably wouldn't want to be with a 50-something-year-old for a long time, but, you know, there could have been, if they would have discussed, maybe there could have been more. But anyway, that's partially what went wrong, and that's partially their relationship as friendship also kept her coming back. She enjoyed that time with him. So it's interesting to read it now and think about those things, because I'm trying to, I'm still working on getting over him. So, and not over him, I mean, I haven't seen him for months, but in my heart, there's still that place for him, but it's nice to kind of know why a little bit. You know, when they were apart and not talking, it was hard for her because it was so stressful that they wouldn't talk. It was like, well, does he want to see me again or nothing? I mean, they would literally go days and not say anything to each other. And then all of a sudden it was back again, and then it would go away again. So it was very confusing, and that's where the anxiety came from, is when they were apart, they were really apart. So really apart. It was crazy, weird, different. You know, I guess, I don't know if it's generation or just me, but I didn't get it. So anyway, that was that chapter.